Today, we're making hamburgers, onion rings, and this recipe is the bomb, the crunchiest onion ring ever. I'm doing a handmade milkshake using a fork, which is the way I always did it growing up. I never used a mixer. And y'all are going to love this video. And then we're going to hop over here and we're going to mix up our onion ring batter. So we're going to be using 3/4 cups of flour. I use self-rising. It does make them a little crunchier, so if you have it, use it. You're going to use an 8-cup heaping cup of cornstarch. We're going to mix that up. We're going to put in a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of roasted garlic powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cayenne pepper. That's it. Then we added 3/4 cups of the milk. And that's our magic solution. It's good to make. Fish with it too if you want to. And then we're going to put in 3/4 cups of milk. Into this batter. And mix it up. And we'll just leave that milk out because I am going to mix up a milkshake and let y'all see how I do it while we're cooking tonight. Just making a good hamburger meal. Just mix it up really good with a whisk. Alright, so we're going to slice them in some pretty good rings. And I usually drop one section at a time. And you don't fry up a whole lot at one time. And you don't want it to be too hot and get them too brown too fast. You want the onion to cook a little bit. So I'm just going to mix them up in this batter a little bit. And then we're going to drop them. And you just have to drop them. And you just have to cook them in batches if you want them to be pretty. If you're not worried about them being pretty, then just throw them in there, but they'll stick together if you don't. Alright, while you're waiting on that, you just need to let them be in there about 2 minutes, flip them, and then 2 more minutes. So after they've been in there a couple of minutes, flip them over. And this is a really crunchy, tasty batter. Everybody in the house will love them, so make sure you make plenty. And like I said, if you want to keep them hot while you're cooking your other stuff, just throw them in the air fryer. They'll actually stay nice and crunchy and turn out good for you. Turn this down a little bit. It's a little high. Alright, here goes the rings into here. You hear how crunchy they are? So good, y'all. So it takes a few minutes to make a big, a whole onion's worth. And so get ready to stand over it for a few minutes to finish them up.
Oh, somebody asked what kind of oil we used.
This is Wesson corn oil. I use Wesson corn oil. I use olive oil. Not with this, but just in general, I use Wesson corn oil to cook and bake with. I use olive oil for a lot of stuff that I cook. And then we use peanut oil when we fry chicken. And that's pretty much it for the oil stuff. And I use sesame. I use sesame oil if I'm making anything Asian, you know, like Chinese or Japanese or whatever. It's just got a really good flavor. I do it simple, really simple, and easy. I use a fork, a taller fork, a dinner fork, a salad fork. And there's our pieces. Okay, we're gonna put a couple of scoops of ice cream in here. A little milk. Some espresso beans. Now, when I was growing up, most of the time, I would make my milkshakes like this instead of using this powder that we made out of the cocoa beans. I would just use regular old Hershey's cocoa, and I would put it in there like that, and I would use a fork just like I'm doing. Oh, and these are those coffee espresso beans that we ground up, and they're like toffee in the middle. They're not like a real coffee bean, and then they have a dark chocolate. They're dipped in dark chocolate. And so I just always used a fork when I made a milkshake, and it works good. You just kind of go up and down with it, back and forth like this to break up the ice cream, and then towards the end, you smash it up against the sides, and it makes the perfect milkshake. And you don't have a mess to clean up, and you don't have, you know, a mixer to clean up, and then you can just taste it. And if you want to add more coffee bean, or you use maraschino cherries, whatever you want to use. Bananas, mash you up a banana. That's good. Woo, I'm putting a little more in there. Oh, that's good. So there you go, you got it. Delicious. That is a hand-made milkshake. With cream. With a cherry on top. Well, delicious supper, hamburgers, milkshakes, and onion rings. Can't get no better than that. Can you? Let's get us a nice straw. We need a fat straw for a milkshake. But this is a pretty straw. I'll put it in there because we ground that good. There's our milkshake. Now we're going to get out our onion rings and let you see how pretty they look. I just want you to see how you make a hand mixed milkshake with a fork. And I wanted y'all to see how you make my delicious onion rings. Delicious onion rings. Let's taste this delicious milkshake, huh? That's good. Delicious. Bluebell has the best ice cream ever. Now, I want y'all to see how crunchy the onion rings are. They're beautiful and crunchy. They're so good. Y'all have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching Colored Valley Cooks, where we cook like Mama did. Bye, y'all. Love ya.
Cooking time, it's over now. Tammy, she just showed you how to cook it up like Mama used to do. So go on out and have some fun. Now you're getting
beautiful
dinner done with Colored Valley Cooks, your number
and crunchy.
one.